What's up, guys? It's Tom back here for another video. So it's going to be basically an update, but I want to talk a little bit about Kamasi Washington show that I went to last night. Tony, Mr. Fartboy 79, I think his YouTube channel is. We went to see him in Fairfield last night, Connecticut, and the show was amazing. Let me just say right off the top, I'm sorry if the camera's shaking, I'm trying to close my keyboard. Yeah, the show was amazing. All the players were awesome. You know, just I really loved. There was two drummers. First of all, there was Kamasi on sax. There was a trombone player, vocalist. Sorry, I don't remember all the names. Vocalist and bass player and a keyboardist. A pianist, which was like a 17-year-old kid. He was awesome. But my favorites were probably the drummers. Definitely were on point the whole time. They're on fire. One was probably a little bit harder hitting than the other one, but they were both so good. The bass player was really good too. He was a singer, and I guess one of the drummers is actually Thundercat's father, or not father. I'm sorry, older brother. I guess it's Thundercat's older brother, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's like really spiritual vibe, spiritual free jazz kind of stuff. But definitely elements of like funk, and it's really good. You know, there's definitely no way to describe it other than going to see it. If he comes around, definitely go see it. It's definitely worth it. His father actually came out. I guess his father usually does the merch table for him, but his father came out and played. He played flute and something else too, I believe. I know he played flute. I believe he played something else as well. So, excuse me. But yeah, so good. Such a great show. Like I said, everybody was tight, on point. It looks like they were all having fun. They were all smiling, laughing the whole time. Great energy. The venue was pretty good. Acoustic sounded pretty good. For the most part. It wasn't that big. It was about a 200-person capacity, and it was pretty much filled. There was only a couple empty seats that I saw anyway, so yeah, other than that, I guess that's it. Like I said, definitely go see them if you get a chance. I know the vinyl's coming out in early October, so definitely cop that. So let's get into the update here real quick. I think I wasted enough time on that. So first up here, continue with a couple Polish releases, Polish jazz stuff. First up here we got Zbigniew Namysłowski with Winobania. This is from '73. This is probably my favorite Polish jazz release. One of my favorites, if not my favorite. This is on the Polskie Nagrania label, which is similar to some of the other ones that I showed. This red label here, but great. The cover's kind of messed up, obviously, but it's basically like jazz, free jazz, but you know, Polish free jazz, so it's done a little bit differently. A lot of great duos, good solos, but a lot of great duoing mostly. Because it's kind of what Polish jazz is known for. And yeah, this is definitely just one you have to hear. I'll definitely leave some samples in the bottom, but like I said, one of my favorites for sure. Sorry guys, I think the mail just came by. Alright, another one. But this is just a straight up piano album. This is Adam Makowicz. I think it's self-titled. Adam Makowicz Piano. Oh, it's called Live Embers. I'm sorry, it's called Live Embers. So, piano album from '75. Really good though. Really good piano album. Definitely kind of reminiscent of other piano players. Maybe Bill Evans a little bit. Keith Jarrett maybe a little bit. I believe this is on the same label. Yep, same label. Polskie Nagrania label. Polish Recordings. This one is more straight jazz for the most part, but it definitely has some other elements mixed in there as well. So I gotta say, out of all the albums that I got, this might be my least favorite, but it's still really good though. Definitely not bad at all. And we got one more. This last one here is Wojciech Karolak, which is Easy, is the name of the album. Recorded in 74, I believe released in 75. I think on the same label as the other two. I want to say. Yeah, same label as the other two. So this one is really good. This is more fusion. Fusion, really funky. Fusion jazz funk. A lot of great players on here too, including Zbigniew Namysłowski, the first guy that I showed, he's on here. Thomas Stanko is on here. Thomas Szukalski is on here. So a lot of great horn players on here. He's an organist, by the way. Plays the Hammond organ as well as the piano. Plays B3 organ as well as the piano. And he's great. You know, just awesome at what he does. Yeah, really big lineup on here. Like I said, the horns. And you got Czesław Bartkowski on drums, so really well-known Polish drummer. Basically kind of like a who's who of Polish players around that time. But like I said, it's free, but it's more fusion-y, kind of more free fusion, jazz funk type of stuff. So definitely recommend this one as well. Really, really solid album, if you could find it. Because I don't know how easy it is to find in the States. Once again, big thank you to my parents if they happen to see this. Because I know they do watch my videos from time to time, so. Alright, moving on to some non-Polish stuff. We got Alvin Queen, Ashanti. Alvin Queen was a drummer, if you're not familiar with him. He started this label called Nilva Records, I guess when he moved to Switzerland, I believe, and his album came out on his own label. I believe this was the second album to come out on that label. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Came out in '81. For other players on here, you got Billy Saxton on sax, John Hicks on piano, Ray Drummond on bass, Alvin Queen drums and percussion, James Spalding on sax and flute, and Dusko Gojovic on trumpet and flugelhorn, excuse me. I think this is probably his best work, I would say. But really great stuff, though. Really great, kind of spiritual jazz. Not really sure how else to describe it, but definitely worth checking out. And like I said, I'm pretty sure this is probably his best work. At least that's what I heard. I haven't heard all of his stuff. I think there's one album I haven't heard yet, but I'm not sure how many he even has. So I know he has another album on the same label, which I've heard, and I haven't heard anything else. So Alvin Queen, Ashanti, definitely worth giving a listen. Moving on to some more free jazz kind of stuff. This is Joe Futterman. I always want to say Steve. Joe Futterman with Interaction. And on here you got Jimmy Lyons on sax, Richard Davis on bass, Robert Atkins on drums, who just fucking kills it on the drums. Really great drumming on here. And Joe Futterman plays piano on this. So promo copy, promo sticker on there. This was distributed by the JCO, Jazz Composers Orchestra Organization, or Association. Sorry, that was pretty cool. But it's on the JDF label. The label looks like a pretty plain label. But it's free jazz. It's from '84, I believe. Not sure if I mentioned that. Yeah, from '84. Just one long track, basically. It's Interaction, parts 1, 2, and 3. Part 1 is just all of one side, and then parts 2 and 3 are on the second side. Just continued, but like I said, awesome drumming. Definitely check out the drumming on this. Really good. Everyone does their thing, though. Jimmy Lyons is definitely on, like he usually is, and Richard Davis definitely doesn't disappoint either. So great, great record. I'm not really sure how much it goes for, but I know Joe put me on to this one, so thanks, Joe, for watching this. I definitely appreciate it, because you were right about this one, man. this one was definitely worth checking out. Next up, we got Clifford Jordan, Soul Fountain. Actually, this was a Goodwill find. I found 2 of these, actually, believe it or not. My local Goodwill. It's like, this is the only thing I found, and then nothing else. So, it had like other jazz that I had no interest in whatsoever. White label promo, and I found a regular version as well, which I ended up giving to Tony. We kind of did a trade, but this one, a little bit worse shape. A little bit of sun damage on the cover, and the vinyl is a bit warped, but it plays fine on my turntable, so no issues. But Clifford Jordan, Soul Fountain, basically, if you've never heard this, it's not really free, I would say, but definitely more bop, more kind of chilled out, soul jazz type stuff. Definitely has some Latin grooves, some Latin influences for sure. For players on here, you got Jimmy Owens on flugelhorn trumpet, Julian Priester on trombone, Frank Owens on piano and organ, Ben Tucker on bass, Bob Crenshaw on bass, Bob Durham on drums, and Orestes Pilato and Joe Wolhez on percussion. Not familiar with those guys at all, but yeah, it's really great soul jazz type stuff. Not too out there, but definitely a solid record right here. And definitely my best Goodwill find in a long time, as far as music goes anyway. On the Vortex label. I don't think I said that, but promo copy. For $1, definitely. Grab that. Next up, I got one from, suggestion from Chris, John Coltrane 68. I believe I have to thank Chris for this, Chris Cole. Chris sends you a suggestion, definitely do not ignore it, because all his stuff is always on point, and this one was no different. So this is basically an 80s record, which I probably would have never picked up on my own. Well, maybe I would have, because Don Cherry's on it, but it's Tony Vaca, Tim Moran, with special guest Don Cherry and Tim Wolf. And it's a fusion record from 86 on Philo, I guess, which is like a part of Rounder Records. But really, really great fusion. Kind of like a mix of fusion and world music. If you guys know Don Cherry, you know he does some world music on, on his records. But this was just awesome, just basically awesome fusion-y world music stuff. So there's the label. Nothing too crazy. I never heard of that label before, but really great. Definitely recommend it. Not an expensive record at all, and just excellent fusion. So thank you, Chris, for telling me about that, because that was definitely right up my alley, for sure. I'm not trying to make this video too long, so sorry, I don't really want to go into too much detail about these, but I'll leave links as usual. You guys can check them out on your own. This was actually a find from New York. I went up to New York to drop off some family member at the airport, and ended up stopping off at some shops. Grabbed this for a pretty damn good price, under $15. So just say that. Pharoah Sanders Themby. I believe it's a first pressing for this issue. It's on the black and red Impulse label. Yeah, really great, really clean. Can't complain at all. The gatefold doesn't even open all the way yet, so I don't believe it's been opened in a long time. Awesome players on here: Pharoah Sanders, Michael White, Lonnie Liston Smith, Cecil McPhee, Clifford Jarvis, Roy Haynes. There's a few others, but it's basically some of the heavy hitters, so you can already tell it's going to be good. If you guys never heard Themby, solid Pharoah Sanders material, worth picking up for sure. You guys know who Pharoah Sanders is, so no reason to go into that too much, but alright, got a few more here. I showed this next one on a sealed to revealed. I found this one sealed, actually. A Black Saint, which is only like my second, I believe, Black Saint. This is the String Trio of New York. First String, it's called. It's basically Billy Bang on violin, James Emery on guitar, mandolin, and John Lindberg on bass. So it's all strings. It came out in '79. You guys know what the Black Saint label looks like, but I just love that label. So good. Such an awesome label. Yeah, like I said, this thing was sealed, and it was $5, so there was no freaking way I was going to pass on this. Not for $5. And it's great, too. It's so good. I would definitely recommend it, but like I said, only if you're a fan of strings. You know, if you're not a fan of strictly just string albums, not really your thing, then I don't know. Maybe check it out. Check out some tracks. There are some tracks on YouTube, so, but yeah, I would highly recommend this one to anyone who likes that kind of stuff. So Billy Bang definitely does his thing. I'm trying to find his Untitled Gift album. I know that one's really good, so I'm trying to track that down. This next one here, and probably going to be the last one, is a grail, gem, whatever you want to call it. Definitely a gem. Been after this one for a while. I don't know how long, a couple of years at least. It's been a while. More than a couple of years, but let me just show it. Screw the build-up. Charles Tyler, Voyage from Jericho. Charles Tyler Ensemble, excuse me, from 75. Still in the shrink, which I'm going to take off, but still in the shrink. This record is just a monster, in my opinion. I love this. Kind of like free bop, I guess is the best way to describe it. But it's just so good. Yeah, just bop, but done really, you know, free jazzy. I don't know how to describe it. I'm just going to leave links. Don't want to, you know, I'm not going to be able to do this record justice by talking about it, so I'll just let you guys hear it. But lineup, you got Charles Tyler obviously on saxes, Ronnie Boykins on bass, Earl Cross on trumpet, Steve Reed on drums, and Arthur Blythe on sax as well. He plays on 2 tracks, so really good. On Charles Tyler own label, I don't know if it's AKBA or AKBA. I believe it's AKBA, but I've seen it without the bar in the middle too. So Charles Tyler own label. Yeah, there's a label, pretty plain, but just amazing record, amazing playing on here. Like I said, it's been after this one for a while, so I was so happy when I finally found it for a decent price, really decent price. So yeah, so good. Such great jazz. I would love to see something like this live. Like the Kamasi show last night was just so good. I haven't seen a show that good that I don't know, left me, you know, that kind of feeling in a while. And I definitely missed it, 'cause I used to go to a lot of shows, but I haven't felt like that after a show and during a show in a long time. So, but yeah, it's an awesome find. Charles Tyler Ensemble. So happy to finally have this. Trying to find the first Charles Tyler Ensemble now, which was a self-titled on ESP disc. So, but yeah, so happy to finally have this one. I guess I can show a couple more real quick. I don't know how long this video is. I'm sure it's too long though. Real quick, picked up a couple BYG Actuels, acting trio, self-titled acting trio. It's a trio of French musicians, one of the lesser-known BYG Actuels, but not really the best either. Not really the best kind of jazz. It's free jazz, but definitely not one of the first BYGs I would go after. I found this for cheap, so I figured I'd grab it. Since I am collecting, I'm trying to complete the collection, so it's good. It's definitely not. It's not terrible or anything. It's not bad. It's just not one of the first ones I would grab, because I don't think these guys did much of anything after this. So kind of just like a one-off thing. And the last one here, this was a cool find too. This was cheap. I ended up picking this up recently for really cheap as well, with the Pharoah Sanders. Dewey Redmond, Tariq, another BYG Actuel. Really awesome though. If you guys know Dewey Redmond, you know who's playing. It's free, it could be free jazz, but it's, you know, a bit more I would say friendly to non-free jazz fans. So you got Ed Blackwell on drums, Malachi Favors on bass, and Dewey Redmond on sax. Yeah, really good stuff. Dewey Redmond is always good. I also found a Another Dewey Redburn.